to have it outside of government offices, outside of my office, but my committee meeting on housing and homelessness ran late. But I'm absolutely delighted to join you here at Courage, California. As you mentioned, I have had a lot of challenges in getting reelected. What I would best describe as the corporate-driven political machine tried its best to prevent me from getting reelected by redrawing the boundaries of my district to take out renters and younger voters who had turned out in droves in my first election to help me defeat an incumbent for the first time in almost 2 decades here in the city of Los Angeles. As the election moved forward, I had 2 candidates running against me, and corporate dollars really consolidated around one of them. And as you mentioned, over $1 million was spent against me. I was the only incumbent running in LA City Council races during this cycle who had any money spent against them. I had the most money ever spent against a sitting incumbent in LA City Council history. And most of that money was spent tarring me for what I would say are policies that are deeply, deeply aligned with my progressive roots. They talked about my homelessness policy, where I've led with care rather than punishment, and painted me as someone who wanted people to live on the streets, who wanted to proliferate encampments, even though my district was one of the only districts which saw a reduction in street homelessness during my tenure. And the money was primarily coming from 2 sources. One was corporate landlords, large corporate landlords, 2 in particular, one that is currently undertaking the largest eviction in LA City history on the west side in Barrington Plaza, a landlord named Douglas Emmett, with CEO Jordan Kaplan, leading investments of more than almost $500,000 in negative spending against me, and another landlord named Kilroy, which operates across Southern California. These are 2 large corporate landlords who were angry that I passed tenant protections that would cut into their profits. Douglas Emmett, in fact, their corporate representatives gave a quote to the media saying that this was not they don't take political positions, but that they were spending against me to safeguard their bottom line, that it was to safeguard their shareholder interests. And they were very, very explicit about that. But what I'm very, very proud of is that Angelenos in the district really showed that LA is not for sale, that Angelenos are not here to be bought and sold. Huge amounts of money were spent in mail, huge amounts of money were spent on digital advertising that was extremely negative, extremely toxic, divided the district, created negativity. But ultimately, I was able to prevail in the primary, get over 50% and avoid a runoff, which would have been incredibly expensive. I think I would have done better in a more progressive electorate in November. But I'm grateful not to be running